Now, after so many problems, ranging from insecurity to the economy, Nigerians are starting to wonder whether the APC government of President Buhari can keep this country away from the brink long enough for elections to take place in February next year. Ask people on the streets, and many will accuse Mr. Buhari of not being clear about how to deal with Nigeria's numerous challenges. But his supporters insist that he is a focused leader, is fully at the helm of Nigerian affairs, and has made great strides in areas such as the development of infrastructure. And on the strength of that, the APC is hoping to go to the electorate in 2023 with a new presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and to ask them to vote him into the Aso Rock presidential villa. So how difficult will it be convincing Nigerians to give the APC another 4 years after 2 terms under President Buhari? And will Mr. Tinubu be able to reassure them that he's cut from a better cloth? Well, for his assessment, I'm joined now in the studio by the writer, former member of the House of Representatives, former Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, and senior member of the ruling APC party, Dr. Dakuku Peterside. It took about a minute just to introduce you, didn't it? Because you've done so much.
Well, we've made our little contribution.
Well, thank you for coming in. And for you, as an analyst, a writer, and a politician, is this a particularly interesting time to be observing Nigerian politics?
It is. It is. Because a lot has changed, and quite a lot is still changing. And for the first time, I can say this. The political landscape is different. We'll be having a different kind of election. And I say this in 6 dimensions. The first is that this is the very first time in our recent political history that we'll be using the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, at the national scale. It's been used in Anambra, it's been used in Ekiti, it's been used in Osun. But for the first time in our political life, we'll be using BVAS at the national scale. That's one. Now, 2, we've always had elections that seem to be binary options. You know, it's either party A or B. In 1992, it was SDP and ROC. In 1999, the 2 major political parties was the then APP and PDP. Same in 2003, 2007, 2015. But for the first time, we're going to have what looks like either a 3-horse or 4-horse race. That's another distinguishing feature of the current political situation. Now, you also have another distinguishing feature, and that's the fact that for the first time, because of economic challenges or economic adversity, more Nigerians are going to troop out to vote. The urban poor, the rural poor, all of them are impacted. So all of them are coming to vote. People are more enlightened, people are more conscious, and we're most likely going to have our youths come out in their numbers en bloc to vote. So I can continue. There are many dimensions that this current political landscape is totally different. Well, the demographics are changing. And so I think that a lot will change. You know,
that's a good.
The process is different. The outcome
might be different. Right. Okay. Well, that's a good opening line, and I think you've set it out really very well. I look at all the top lines from your recent newspaper articles: Nigeria, a nation in chains; the inevitability of political doom; dark clouds over the economy; Abuja under siege from bandits and terrorists. I mean, looking at all that, one would be forgiven if they thought of you as a member of the opposition, as opposed to a member of the ruling APC party.
I have a responsibility to draw attention of both government and the people to the challenges we face every day. We are all observers, and we try to put these things in context. It has nothing to do with being a member of the opposition or a member of the ruling party.
Okay, well, let me get your analysis as a writer, a columnist in the newspapers and so on, as well as a politician. I wonder if you've been following the stories around the aggrieved Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike. You're from Rivers State,
Absolutely.
aren't you? Right. And his negotiations, or perhaps I should say altercations, with the PDP leadership and its presidential candidate. What do you make of all that?
If you ask me to assess Governor Wike's actions, they're in the public domain. I believe that even members of the PDP will admit that what he's engaged in constitutes anti-party activities. But his party tolerates him, so I have no qualms with that. I don't see how that will help him or the people of Rivers State. He has also made quite a number of bogus claims, like saying that he's got Rivers State in his pocket. He will decide how Rivers people vote. There's nothing to support that. Maybe in the past, we have not been voting the proper sense of it in Rivers. But by virtue of the introduction of beavers, Rivers people will cast their votes, and their votes will reflect their aspiration. And Governor Wike is not a true reflection of the average Rivers man. It's not a representation of the average Rivers man. So I believe that the outcome of the elections in Rivers State will depend on Rivers people and will be significantly different from the expectations of Nyesom Wike.
Right, and obviously we've heard about the reported meetings in London and all the negotiations between sort of Atiku and Wike, and of course the presidential candidate of the APC party, your party, Bola Tinubu, has also been mentioned as part of that sort of London junket. I mean, he apparently held a secret meeting with Mr. Wike, but this day newspaper reports that it wasn't a successful engagement. What light can you shed on that?
Well, I had said earlier that what Wike is engaging in constitutes anti-party activities. Absolutely true position of things.
You mean by negotiating with Bola Tinubu?
Not just negotiating.
Or reportedly negotiating.
Not just negotiating. He's taking a number of steps that constitute anti-party. But whether his party will enforce those disciplinary procedure is left for the party. It's none of my business. But I don't see the value that is bringing to the table, either in our political evolution process or the kind of politics he's playing. So truly, I wonder what he wants. Truly wonder.
Well, he wants what every Nigerian politician wants. He wants power. He
wants
relevance.
protection.
He wants I don't know about protection.
He wants relevance.
He certainly wants relevance.
I don't see how you get relevance by what he's doing.
Right. Well, let me move away from that. Because, I mean, having you around is just very interesting, and there's a lot to talk about. In the last few months, as you yourself have pointed out in your articles that I've read, this country has experienced terrible insecurity, galloping inflation, sustained food and energy price rises, and dwindling revenues. And as if that isn't enough, what little electricity levels there are have dropped significantly. I mean, imagine the strain of all of that. How do these multiple challenges build into the 2023 election?
All right. I will say three important things. The first one is something that both the vice presidential candidate of the APC and Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and as well as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, they are all united. They have a common view that the next election will not be about party platform. It will be about individual with capacity, with competence, with vision, with deep understanding of the challenges that come forward with solutions to our multi-dimensional challenges. All three of them in the last MBA conference in Lagos are united in that view. And so it's not about party platform. It's about the qualities, the personnel, the vision, the programs, the manifesto of the candidates.
Yeah, but some would say that you're saying this because you want to get away from the baggage that the APC has yoked around your candidate. I mean, some have suggested...
Not quite.
Let me just make this point. Some have suggested that it is a bit perverse that the APC is promising to rescue Nigerians from the APC.
I don't think that's the true picture of things. We all know that Nigerian political parties are not driven by ideology. None rides on the wheel of ideology. It's simply a platform.
Yeah, but you're driven by your track record. And
Very
people are
correct.
looking at the
track
last
record
8 years of the
now,
APC
if you look at
in
the
power.
character, if you look at the character of the Obasanjo administration, it is distinct from the character of the Yar'Adua administration that succeeded him. And the Yar'Adua administration is totally distinct from the Goodluck administration. All of them are members of the same political party. So we can see that the president we elect is important, not the platform. If we elect an incompetent person on the platform of party AAAA, we will suffer the same consequence. It is rather better for us to elect somebody who's got the right vision, who's got innovative team, who has got the right solutions on the platform of a party. So the distinction is not the platform. It is the quality of the individual leading the team. Okay, what is his track record?
Right. In that
what
regard,
has he done? What has he accomplished?
Right. In that regard, what is the central message that, let me put it this way, the APC and Bola Tinubu are putting out to Nigerians that they hope will win them electoral favors in 2020?
Now, the key message, not just for the APC, for all key political actors, is that let Nigerians assess the candidates on their individual standing. Do they possess the qualities we're looking for in a president? What is their message? What is their antecedent? That's what Nigerians should look out for. Like you said earlier, in 2015, we were made to believe that we are voting for a messiah. Some of us who are members of the party said there's no messiah anywhere. We made that very clear.
Well, you certainly made that clear.
We made it very clear that there's no messiah anywhere.
Yeah.
We supported the election of President Buhari, but we made it very clear that there's no messiah anywhere. Some of us. And we are repeating the same thing at this time, that none of the candidates is a messiah.
Not even Peter Obi?
Not Peter Obi, not former Vice President Atiku, nor Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Please, can you assess the candidates on their individual merit? Vote for the one that's got the competence, that's got character, that's got track record of performance to lead Nigeria to a new era.
And look at what they're presenting to you as solutions.
And solutions.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point, I have to admit. So where do you, I mean, you've worn this hat now what you're trying to be very objective in your analysis. Where do you see the candidates? I mean, beyond the fact that you're a member of the APC, you're asking people to make assessments. What assessments have you made?
All right. The fireworks will start in September, late September. And like you said, in course of your engagement with my brother who just left here, what solution or solutions is Mr. Peter Obi preferring? I think that's the question. That should be the question to all the candidates. What solutions are they preferring to the challenges we face? I think that all Nigerians have an idea of the challenges we face. Some challenges are structural.
Yes.
Some has got global dimension. Some, again, depends on the character of the current government or those who are in government. So they are multidimensional. Let's hear the solution they are offering. Let's hear what they are bringing to the table. It is only then we can make an objective assessment. Then we'll now compare this with their antecedents.
Right, okay. And on that note, I want to say a feisty discussion, a very interesting discussion with you, Dr. Dakuku Peterside. He is, of course, the writer, former member of the House of Representatives, former Director General of NIMASA, and senior member of the ruling APC party. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.